All right, let's jump the map to California. Almost 30 years after they were first sentenced for the murder of their parents, Lyle and Eric Menendez will be back in a courtroom virtually today. It'll be the first time the brothers are seen in public since 1996. Back then, they were found guilty and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Today, it will be the brothers' latest bid to try to get a lesser charge for killing their parents, which could result in their freedom. Let's bring in CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson to break down this case for us. Jessica, thanks for being with us. The Menendez brothers and their attorneys have three parallel tracks that they're pursuing. What does that mean, and what are they?
Thank you for laying it out this way, because I think it is getting confusing for people. Essentially, the Menendez brothers and their attorneys are saying that they should get out for three different reasons. One is resentencing based on good behavior while in prison. And that's really, I think, what the hearing today will be about. It's a status conference on that resentencing effort. Then separately, there's the habeas petition. And that petition says there's a problem with the conviction. The conviction in this case was based on a trial where the jury didn't hear all of the evidence surrounding these allegations of sexual abuse. And in fact, there's new evidence of sexual abuse that would change the jury's mind. That's what the allegation here is, or at the very least, that the jury would find guilty on manslaughter, but not murder. And then finally, there's a route that goes all the way to Sacramento to Governor Newsom, and that's a request for clemency. Governor Newsom has said, essentially, I'm going to wait until things play out in the district attorney's office. I think he's really waiting to see what happens with respect to resentencing and to a certain extent with respect to the habeas petition. But those are the three tracks that we're looking at with a focus on resentencing today.
So of those three tracks, which one do you think could be the most successful? Which is the best argument, do you think?
So it depends. I think clemency, likely not the case, because what we've heard from Governor Newsom is he really wants to defer to the district attorneys here. When it comes to the habeas petition, I think we really need to see what a judge thinks of this new evidence and whether or not, again, the allegations of sexual abuse potentially could have made a difference. We know that there were actually two trials in this case. There was a first trial where evidence of sexual abuse was introduced and the jury was not able to come to a conclusion. There was a second trial. That was a trial where they were convicted and that evidence was not introduced. All of which is to say that might provide them with a route, but I still think it's a long shot. Then finally, with respect to this route of resentencing, the reason I really can't say in part is because we have a new district attorney. He's about to take office in about a week, and he might have a different view on this case than the prior district attorney. So we really have to wait on him in order to see what his view of this case is.
So is there a possibility that the brothers could get out before the holidays?
I think it is a very slim possibility. I know that we have been hearing from their attorneys in part that that is a hope. But if you think about these three tracks, if you think about when the new district attorney is going to assume office, and if you think of how hard it is to bring a habeas petition and all of the things that would need to fall into place, I do not think that that's likely. I mean, could we have a made-for-TV movie surprise where potentially in the habeas track, a judge says, you know what, I think there's a there, and, things fall into place. Everything falls into place for the Menendez brothers, potentially, but I think that is very unlikely.
All right, CBS News legal analyst Jessica Levinson. Thank you so much, Jessica.